Hey guys, how are we doing? It's Martin Cliffe here, and despite shooting 3 fairly long videos about my pedalboard, I've had to downsize it, for the time being at least, by which I'm meaning that I was having some noise problems. I had some squealing problems when I was doing the playthrough demo anyway, particularly with the Riot, but I was also having a couple of other noise issues. I was having to put workarounds in place to work around, I guess. So yeah, I'm just gonna switch across to the other camera and show you what I've done. So I've gone back to one Novo 18 board for the time being. The way this is set up is that I will still be able to build the other board and implement it into it, not in exactly the same way. But basically, so at the moment the signal comes in to the Rufus, and well, the signal comes in at the 321 at the back, which is my input selector, then comes to the Rufus, then goes to underneath there is a smart gate, then to the turbo tuner, then across the Sheba drive, Jackrabbit, Koji comp. And at that point it then goes out to the Goodwood Audrey, and that's set up so that the Audrey is a clever box where if you have stuff connected to the send and return at the back, then it sends the in to the send and the return to the out. If you don't have anything connected in at the back, it just sends the in to the out. And how that's useful is it means that I can if I'm using an amp with an effects loop and I can be bothered running cables to it and stuff, then I can connect it with the send going to the input of the amp and the return coming from the effects end of the amp, and then it comes in to the timeline and then across to the big sky. If I'm not using an amp with an effects loop or I'm not connecting it up, then the signal just goes straight from the Koji comp into the timeline, into the big sky. They're connected in stereo, and then the stereo outputs go to the Goodwood output, which has a little switch, so I can switch between dual mono or stereo depending on what rig I'm running. I realised that I did my guitar demos, my first two, with it switched to dual mono, so you weren't actually getting any stereo effects anyway. So yeah, that's the way that this rig is set up. What I will be able to do is basically connect the front row of the other board or my other pedals into the Audrey, and also then my one control white loop switcher to switch between the two amp front ends as well. So it won't work in exactly the same way because it won't be a bunch of pedals and an amp in a loop and then a bunch of pedals and an amp in another loop. But it'll be a whole bunch of pedals and then 2 different amps that I can choose between. So it'll give me almost the same flexibility, just in a slightly different way. And then I'll be able to take the outputs from the output into the Mobius and into the Ditto. I haven't wired that up yet, but that's kind of what's going on at the moment. So that's why that rig has changed. So it's slightly annoying in a sense that I've had to do that, but in another sense it's useful that I've got currently a smaller board for if I want to take it out and play. It gives me the flexibility to run 1 amp, 2 amps, 1 amp without effects loop, what have you, any kind of combination of options, and the effects that I'm missing off this board are effects that I don't miss so much because I can kind of, for the most of the stuff that I do, I can get away without some of those effects on it anyway. But I do have the flexibility when recording stuff to add them all in later on the second board. So the second board isn't going away, it's just having a temporary reprieve because I've just got everything running on this board that I need for the moment. In terms of other news, I've packed away now. Well, I haven't packed away this one yet. This guitar is still here, but it will be getting packed away very shortly. Beastie has already gone in its flight case, ready to go back to the UK. And what that has meant is that I've managed to get all 10 of my guitars that I'm keeping here. Once my tally goes in place of that one, that's currently in a gig bag ready for church tomorrow, on these 2 racks, including my 12-string Ovation, which I didn't think I would manage to, but I have. So that makes me very happy, because it means I've got all my guitars in here, and I know from experience that if a guitar isn't in this room, it probably won't get played, at least anything like as much. So having them here means that I can pick up any guitar I want on a whim and play it and use it for writing or whatever, including my 2 basses, my 6 electric guitars, and my 2 acoustics. So that's really good. I'm going to be setting up, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to be setting up my little bass amp in here, and also my bass pedal board, so everything is ready to go. And then as and when I get the keyboards I'm looking to get, there's space on this side of the room that you can't see on camera where they'll be able to fit as well. So then it should be a case of any time I want to write, I can literally sit down and write, which is the goal. That's writing is my passion, and that's where I kind of need to go down that road more and have more opportunity and more freedom to do that. So that's really cool. Really pleased with the way everything is coming together. I'm going to be shooting more YouTube content. I'm going to be carrying on my guitars series. I've also got a couple of other things I want to talk about, so watch out for them. I've been kind of scheduling videos, so I've been releasing 5 or 6 videos a week, 1 a day though, rather than giving you like 5 videos in one day. So I've been kind of uploading them, marking them as private, and then just changing the privacy settings as and when it's time for the video to go, which has generally been about, in Hong Kong time, sort of between 1 and 2 p.m. Every day. I think my guitars 2 is going to be a little bit later than that, because I haven't done it yet and it's 3:30. But yeah, around about that kind of time. So that's what, 6 a.m. or thereabouts. Yeah, between 5 and 6 a.m. in the UK, and kind of late night, early morning in America. Yeah, there are people who say that I should schedule it at a different time, and they may be right, but that works for me because generally I set it going kind of at the end of my lunch break from work, which is it's like the last thing I do before I go back to work is click the publish. Anyway, enough rambling. Just wanted to give you an update on that. You may be able to just about see that my Lego Star Wars posters are now up on the wall. It's only taken me 5 months to put them up. Starting to become more of my studio again. My kind of inspiration stuff. Okay, till next time. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.